Hello, welcome to all my beautiful, vibrant souls who are Gemini suns, have big Gemini placements, or are cross watchers for Gemini. Welcome to your month ahead predictions. This is going to be looking at April 2024. I do want to say that I have recently started a new tier on my Patreon that will be doing Zodiac love messages for the month ahead every month. So if you are interested in that, that is linked below. You can watch like stuff for yourself, for your big placements, for some of you got your cute little eyeballs on, whatever is clever for you. But that's going to be linked below. So I'm excited. And I will say, if there are messages in any of the groups that come out for their month ahead that have to do with love, they may be connected to the love messages. They might, be separate. So if you end up getting something about love coming out in your general messages, and then you also decide to go check out the tier, then you got two. You got double, and that's pretty neat. That's a very Gemini thing to do. Excuse me. Oh, my allergies. Pardon me. So yeah, because it's April. Right? And spring has sprung, darling, at least in the northern hemisphere. You would never know it today, but spring has sprung. I really wanted to look at, for your month ahead this month, I really wanted to look at what is growing, right? What is kind of, maybe not full on blossoming, but what's growing. There are green shoots and ladders. But yeah, that's what we're going to look at. So I'm going to quit babbling at you, and I'm going to just get going. I will just put a note out here that I've been talking about this briefly with all the groups today. Mercury retrograde is starting hilariously on April 1st and will be going until April 25th. It will station direct on the 25th. So communication, and I'll be doing a separate video about this. Communication might end up being an issue. Now, y'all are Geminis, so we got Gemini vibes going on here. Maybe you guys will end up weathering the storm a little bit better. And that makes it sound like retrograde is bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's a backwards party. But just keep that in mind, that communication, any type of transportation, any type of shifts in the marketplace might be kind of, or like slowdowns when it comes to trade, commerce, market. The marketplace might be a little bit funky, a little bit off. And this is important considering that Jupiter will then move into the lovely sign of Gemini the following month in May. So don't be surprised if some of that ends up playing a role in your month ahead. But again, we'll do a separate collective video about that. We have memory at the bottom. It was initially upside down. I don't usually read oracle cards reversed unless the deck is designed like that, with a few exceptions. But because we have a 10 here, we have 28 that reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1. A lot of you are letting go of something from the past, right? Poppies always make me think of death. And so there's a sense here where something is over, you've grieved something, it's finally, you're finally letting it go. Some of you are letting go of a person. Some of you, oh no, what are you guys doing? Excuse me, I'm hearing you're finally shaking somebody. So maybe you guys, you have somebody from your past that you've had a hard time kind of letting go of, a hard time getting rid of, a hard time, you've been haunted by the memory of them. I feel like this might be something where you were kind of you were mourning this for a while. But now it almost there's a little bit of spark. I don't want to say anger. But it's kind of you know what? F this, or you know what? I need you to leave me alone. There just feels like there's a sense here where wherever this energy is, it's been heavy, right? And you're grateful to get some space from it. I don't know, you're grateful. You know what it's making me think of? It's making me think of Anastasia. Back in the day, where it's I am grateful to get away. So I'm kind of picking up that vibe a little bit here, but let's see what you get. You guys, I feel like this is gonna be a spunky month for you. I'm getting a nice vibe. Yeah, exactly. Vitality. I'm not surprised. 43 reducing to a 7. So April 3rd might be important here. I'm so sorry, guys. Asthma and allergies are acting up today. But I didn't want to get distracted from doing your reading. So that won't do. That won't do, baby. Yeah, a lot of you guys are getting your spark back, right? I don't know why, but with this particular image of the structure here, it almost makes me think of a pyramid where I don't know why, but I'm seeing it as there should have been a point in construction was halted. I know that's not what it is. I know that's not how it's designed. And I know that's not the purpose, but that's the immediate thing I thought of. It's kind of so whatever this is, it feels like you put a lot of energy into something else and it didn't go how you wanted. It didn't go how you thought it should have gone. There was an expectation that was projected as something I'm hearing. And so you're finally able to release and kind of recoup some of that energy. And it's you know what? that's fine. I don't care. For some here, like, you're like, I'd rather take a bath on this and like be able to move on. I wouldn't be surprised if the Seven of Pentacles comes out. Excuse me. But you're getting you're getting your spark back, which I really, really like. So there's a lot of growth when it comes to your energy. There could be something new that you're building instead. Because I'm really drawn to the fact that we have 2 flowers here. And we have that structure. Those are the 2 things catching my eye. There's something about maybe abandoning something you were making, right? Something man-made in favor of something that's more natural and organic. In the sense that there could be something that you, like I said, there's an abandonment of something you've put a lot of energy into. We have the steps that always indicates ascension. Something that you have, you've really tried to make it work. You've tried to make it grow. And instead, favoring something that maybe if it's not as grand in structure or expression, it's more natural, more organic. And because they're the same, it fits you, right? It mirrors you. It suits you. At the bottom is discernment. What the hell are you guys doing this month? I want to look at this card. And then heart chakra, and it came out upside down. Excuse me. Yep. You're letting go of something because I think you're holding on to it in the heart and holding on to it. This is going to sound weird, so bear with me. Sometimes when we hold on to something we're attached to, it's actually a function of ego. And so, we've attached meaning to whatever that thing is that we're reaching for, right? We've attached meaning to the type of person we think we're going to be when we get that. We've attached meaning to how we think that experience is going to make us feel, make us look, what it's going to bring into our lives. We're attached to that, right? And that's why we hold on to it. And there's almost a sense here where sometimes we can do that without even realizing that what we're reaching for wouldn't make us happy or wouldn't make us happy anymore. And so this is why like the sunken cost fallacy can be kind of a heavy hitter. And then, yeah, so there's kind of this sense here where I feel like you guys got real with yourselves about either something it's just not actually making you happy. You may have I'm getting this energy of like almost woken up, like feeling like you're in a stranger's life or looked around your life and be like, wait, who the hell is this for? Yeah, I feel like you guys are going to be getting your fire, your drive back. Aries season's going to be treating you well. Especially if you also have Aries placements. And that checks too because the lunar nodes, the North Node is in Aries and will be until January of 2025. So the rest of 2024 is really going to be a time of you seizing your personal power in a very, authentic, intense kind of way. I want to say powerful way, but I'm like, damn it, I already said the word power. Excuse me. So yeah, we'll talk more about that at another time. But yeah, you're going to be getting more of your energy back. And again, with discernment here, card 20 always makes me think of the Judgment card. There's a handful of cards in this deck where the number corresponds to a major arcana card and the theme is corresponding as well. And this is one of them, which I love that. I think there's a card that's 19 and it's delight and it's very similar to the sun energy. But let's see. So you guys might be making big judgment calls. I almost had big business calls. So for some of you, this is like something having to do with work. You might be like, you know what? This job. Communication. Wow. Okay, 14 reduces to a 5. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth. Bro, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. I almost said balanced energy. So communication, Mercury retrograde is going to be a big one for you guys. We'll clarify exactly what this is about. But I do feel like you are going to have significant communication. And with 5 showing up, in order to, I was going to say like, induce a change. I almost said reduce a change. So maybe there's a change that somebody was trying to make and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. Or, maybe not so much. Because look at how these 2 circles are gigantic and these 2 are a fraction of the size. There's something that you're doing to bring it back into balance. But there will be communication. This is all about what's growing in your life. There will be communication that I feel like, again, it could be halting one thing and favoring something else. It could be investing into like something more kind of like organic, something that feels a little more natural for you. But with, you know, the mention of through our heart, the center of our truth, there's a sense here where whatever you're communicating about, you're including your heart in the discussion, right? Your feelings get a seat at the table now. Like your feelings have a voice. Whereas before it may have been like driven by practicality, you may have been prioritizing somebody else's feelings. And it's kind of like, no, what I want matters, right? My desires are divine. So this is really, really interesting. I want to give the deck like a really quick shuffle. I got the deck and we have the King of Wands and the Six of Swords in reverse. And in this deck, the Six of Swords is intention and the King of Wands is transmutation. I feel like you guys are taking accountability for your peace. And the King of Wands is very fiery vibes. Yeah, the Two of Cups in reverse with love. Very simple. You've been denying yourself what you love. For some of you, you've been denying yourself either a relationship or denying yourself like leaving a relationship that you don't love. There's something about that. So what is communication all about? The High Priestess reverse. You know that, I feel like a lot of you knew that you needed to talk about something and you now know what to say. I feel like a lot of you are going to be very intuitively, excuse me, supported and guided throughout this conversation, because I do feel like it could be more than one conversation, but there's one big one that's at the center of all of this. And what this is really going to be about is, again, restoring balance from this image here. So you're going to be very energetically supported through the conversation. Like, even if you're afraid to have it, you're just going to have the courage to have it. It's almost this energy of somebody else speaking through you or taking over in that moment. You're like, yeah, I was like shaking like a leaf on my way into my, you know, my boss's office. But as soon as I got in there, I was, you know, cool as a cucumber. This is like, you know, I knew I needed to break it off with that person, but I didn't know what to say. And then as soon as I went to start like talking, it just flowed out of me. This is that kind of a vibe. Pisces energy showing up in case that is significant for you. The Nine of Pentacles. And in this is usually a card of a lot of independence. And in this deck, the word here is community, which I find really interesting. The Magician in reverse. Whoo. And then the Eight of Swords in reverse. Wow. Okay. So what this is telling me, you know, you could be experiencing this with your community. Excuse me. But what this is telling me for communication is not only will you be very supported energetically and spiritually in this communication is really going to be about you detailing to somebody, look, you know, with confusion, like maybe it's like, I didn't know what I wanted, or I thought I wanted this, but I feel like this is what I need to be grounded in myself. I feel like this is what I need to be secure. This is what I'm truly worth, right? This is what this boils down to, is this conversation is going to be all about you finding your power to respect yourself for some people, finding your power to assert boundaries, finding your power to know your worth, essentially, and to require that out of, because I wanted to say the word demand, and that's not quite it, require that out of whoever and whatever is in your life. And for some, you know, again, there's almost this image here, which is so beautiful. There's like a sense here that you might be being supported by a new group of people. You might be spending time with a new group of people. It's something that's, you know, or like a new person, just because, again, the two flowers here, you could be like joining a new hobby group for some, or like, again, have a new group of like coworkers, something like that. And you could just be surrounding yourself with different kinds of people. And it's kind of like this energy of, with vitality, this is what feeds me. This is what supports me. This is what supports me being abundant and happy and authentic. And so like these, you know, whoever you're surrounded by, whatever you're pursuing instead, it's a reflection of the fact that you now know your worth at a much deeper level, and you're willing to advocate for it. So this, you know, this communication that's going to be happening is essentially coming from the fact that you get clarity on what you need to say, on how to kind of take back your power in this situation to, like, again, know your worth and create what you want. And you're communicating that with others. Excuse me. You know, and it's going to look different for everybody, but for some, this is going to be like, look, you know, this needs to be my salary, or I have to look for another job. This is going to be like, you know, I need you to start communicating with me like this. because like it's just not acceptable to talk the way we've been talking, or like I need you to leave me alone because this is just not acceptable. This is big time boundary energy. Big boundary energy, baby. I really like it though. I really like it. Expression. Yeah. And look at the heart is right at the center, but it's also around the solar plexus. There's like a little spiral. This is you having your power. If you get Reiki done specifically for your solar plexus, that might be helpful. I do offer distance healing sessions if you are interested. Those are on my shop. You can just check that out below. Woo! And then the Knight of Wands with Revolution. Yeah. This is you expressing yourself. This is you expanding. And this is you having a hell of a lot to say. And there's one person in particular I feel like you're going to be saying it to. The King of Swords. You could be, wow. The King of Swords is visionary. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be talking to, for some, this is a father figure. This could be somebody who's a guide, who is a mentor, who is a boss. I feel like this is somebody who had a different vision for you, because it looks like they're holding an egg. And there's kind of a sense here of you needing to tell them, like, this is not the way I want to go. This is not the vision I have for my life. There could be an element of like something more traditional or standard versus something that actually speaks to you more. Again, something more established, more created versus something more organic and natural. There's, you know, seemingly less. Like, it's not as grand here, but it's real. And it's something that brings you happiness. It gives you energy instead of drains it. What's going on with this vitality? Two of Cups in reverse. Again, there's a reciprocity we were talking about with this image. Whatever the situation is now, it does not have that. If you're in a relationship that there's just no love, I feel like that's what you're going to talk about. If there is a relationship where you feel blocked from it, because again, I'm getting almost like a father figure, a mentor, due to like what your family thinks, you're just making changes. And if they have anything to say about it. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, because you're tired of sacrificing your happiness and your authenticity for whatever this grander plan is, or to be like a part of somebody else's plan. Centering here. You know what your soul is asking you to do. Sorry, that's the Two of Wands in this deck. You know what your soul is asking you to do. You may be no longer centering somebody else's opinion. The Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, the Knight of Wands. Oh, and the Five of Pentacles. So not only do I feel, I smiled because not only do I feel like this is heading toward your own personal abundance, but this is what I mean. There's a sense here of there's something that's expected from you. We see that with the Two of Wands. There's the established path. But with the Five of Pentacles, it might be maybe materially sound, but it, you know, we have the word manipulation here. You are at the whims. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about it too. Just, you are at somebody else's whims. You don't get to be a full person. You don't even get to really fully be there. You're not honored. So there's a lot of security in it. Maybe even a lot of praise, a lot of recognition publicly, but there's no actual real accolades, no real recognition. You're not really present. That's how it's felt. For some, you haven't been compensated well in your job. And this is where it's like, you know, with revolution, something needs to change or I have to walk. You're moving away from this energy of not having enough, of not feeling good enough, right? Especially good enough either to let go of things that are not serving you, that are draining your energy, or feeling good enough to be able to like welcome in newer, better opportunities. And that's essentially what's changing. So this is going to be a month where you have more insight, more guidance, more support, and feel more empowered to be letting go of what does not serve you, which I feel is the majority of you. That's I want to say the conversation you're going to be in, the camp you're going to be in, or you're going to just have more insight so you can start to, you know, like again, either release those things or start to welcome the new things into your life. And for some, it will be both. So I think that's everything I've got for you guys for the month ahead. This is a really good one. I'm excited. It's going to be, feel like a little fiery, a little spicy, but you know what? Sometimes we need that. We need a little bit of that Mars energy. So yeah, I hope it goes well. Come back and let me know how things pan out for you. I always get curious to see how things resonate and see what's going on in your lives. We're a community, you know, big, beautiful community. So feel free to come back and share with the class. But yeah, have a great month ahead, you guys. Have a safe, happy, healthy month, and I will see you soon. Take care.